is Joy News Prime.
It's a sweet Friday and you're watching the most authoritative news, Joy News Prime. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle, Accra. You can also catch us across Europe via the ABN channel 235. My name is Aisha Ibrahim. Coming up on top of the hour, revelations from Judgment Debt Commission reports suggest the state could have saved some 800,000 cedis in a payout to settle a judgment debt claim, but for the intervention of the trades minister at the time. 2 dead, 2 others injured in Martaj building collapsed in the Ashanti region. Zone 3 Disasters Committee requests more time to conclude investigations into the tragedy, which claimed more than 150 lives. Also, President Mahama agrees to remission requests from prisoners on the first ever visit of a sitting president to any of the country's jails. And financial analysts concerned about sustenance of Bank of Ghana measures to arrest slump in city as the local currency makes a feeble comeback. All of these plus sports and latest on the international world shortly. Now, very first story, Cabinet at its sitting yesterday approved $82.4 million digital migration contract to be executed by a wholly owned Ghanaian company, KNET Limited. The migration to digital terrestrial television, DDT, will guarantee multiple TV channels, clearer pictures, better sound quality, and offer more opportunities for advertisers and broadcasters. KNET is expected to complete the entire migration process in 9 months, with the project divided into 3 phases. This deal is $13 million cheaper than the $95 million StarTimes contract, which was terminated for non-performance. Founded in 1996, KNET has 100% network coverage in Ghana and footprints across sub-Saharan Africa. The Ghanaian company is also the major provider of connectivity services to over 50 radio stations and 30 TV channels in the country. KNET owns the biggest ISP infrastructure supporting digital terrestrial television, DTT, direct to home TV, DTH, and telecoms. Away from digital migration, the Water Resources, Works and Housing Ministry is liaising with the Asokore-Mampo Municipal Assembly on the design for the Ababu Bridge in the area. A recent downpour in Ababu rendered many residents homeless after a stream overflowed its banks. President Mahama visited the area on Wednesday and directed the Water Resources, Works and Housing Ministry to swiftly construct a new bridge while desilting the stream. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has the rest of the story.
Yes, but if it rains, all areas, all boundaries are flooded, and what causes the boundaries, we don't know. It brings a lot of filth, and it chokes or blocks the river's way, so it starts over floating. I think this is disturbing the residents of the area.
Our request is, please try to, raise the bridge for it, so that the water coming from the top there is very, very heavy.
Those were suggestions from some residents to the sector minister. Dr. Kweku Agyemang-Mensah told residents greater collaboration is required in choosing appropriate design for the project.
Here you know what it is, so we cannot design without having inputs from the local residents. That's why we are here going out. And after this, we're going to have a meeting with the stakeholders so that we can hear their inputs before the engineer fine-tune the design that he has for this plan.
Though there was a closed-door meeting between residents and stakeholders, the media was not briefed on the outcome. Dr. Kweku Agyemang-Mensah, however, assured residents the ministry will look for the needed funding for the project, while urging them to desist from throwing refuse into drains.
I also like to advise people that sometimes the way we live, how do you throw garbage and other items into the stream? It doesn't help. we will do our part.
Let's do the June 3 disaster because it's a month old, and the Technical Investigation Committee set up to look into the cause of the June 3 flood and fire disasters is yet to come out with its findings days after the deadline for the completion of its work elapsed. Though the committee has been working for the past 2 weeks, its chairman, Justice Isaac Dosey, maintains it needs more time to conclude its investigations. He tells Joy News the committee is still gathering information to establish the facts of the case and hopes to finish investigations by the end of this month.
The committee has not made any findings so far. The committee is now looking for the facts, and we have called 19 individuals and organizations which have given us information, submitted written memoranda, and have been interviewed, and we have made several visits to the site to see what went on and so on and so forth. So it is premature now to be asking for findings. We had 10 days within which to work, but the volume of work that came on made it necessary for us to ask for extension of time. We are aiming at end of July to present our report. We have got certain facts. We have to cross-check with other facts, cross-match them before we start coming out with it. Otherwise, we'll be giving misleading information to the public. There is water in other fuel tanks as well as a result of the flood. But that does not mean that we have made any definite conclusion.
Let's still talk the June 3 disaster because Frank Agode, one of the survivors of the June 3 floods and fire disasters, is struggling to get back onto his feet a month on. Frank, whose story about how he had to wade through flood waters to make a narrow escape has touched many after having to tell a story with a bent face, has made a remarkable recovery from the burns he suffered. As a train driver, he says he does not have any other skills, and therefore getting his bent car back on the streets is the only way he can make ends meet. He's calling for support to be able to achieve this.
Okay. And see, so far, when you will be a man assist to
see, I'm a cow now, so make a chair no say, no for about consulting to a YMT, just a year and a chance. With me, I be wrong.
Okay, to see, I then I'll pass out by him. Oh,
no one day, me young more from my own. Say, you must be a driver now, and I'm one certificate. So, when you're driving, working with you, meeting me.
Okay, so I've been speaking with Frank Agode. He's a survivor of the June 3 twin disasters, and he's saying that after 1 month, he's still struggling to make ends meet. He's calling on government to come to his aid. He's been a driver ever since. He says he doesn't have any trade, and so he's trying to fix his car back so that he can start doing his commercial vehicle business. Then he can earn a living.
Into other stories, there are calls for a second look at old mat-thatched buildings at ACM Mpong in the Ashanti region after one such structure collapsed on Thursday, killing 2 people and injuring 2 children. 3-year-old Salah and Osila, who is 8 years, are still in critical condition after the outer part of an old compound house collapsed on them. A 5-year-old and a woman in her late 40s were crushed to death instantly. The woman was taking the children home for the evening's meal when the tragedy occurred. Neighbors say the mat-thatched house with cement coating has shown signs of collapse. The outer wall became loose with the rains and collapsed on the 4 who were passing by. Occupants of the house were, however, unscathed. The old town has several of such buildings, and already some residents are nursing fears the accident might repeat. Mother of the dead boy was unconsolable.
We heard people screaming. We got to the scene and found a woman lying on the ground. We struggled to lift her up to be sent to the hospital together with some 2 children. They left one of the children here. He had already died.
I was told my mother was sick, so I decided to visit her, only to find out that this accident had occurred. He was 5 years old and his name was Eric Addo. Sadly, my mother was also involved in this accident.
Now, one person has been shot in yet another robbery at Ahinema Kokobing in the Ashanti region, where an EcoBank manager was gunned down by robbers earlier this year. Eyewitnesses say the 5-gun-wielding robbers attacked owner of a residential facility at Ahinema Kokobing Island City, shot him in the leg, and started firing indiscriminately to ward people off. They are said to have made away with some personal effects, with the wounded victim currently on admission at the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital. Residents say this is the 5th robbery in about 3 months.
The owner of this house came with her car. So when immediately she entered, the armed robbers accompanied him into the house. And immediately we couldn't hear anything. All that we heard was a gunshot. We all ran helter and skelter. And then one of them moved into our house and then questioned us that who are those people who were making all that sort of noise. I ran into a certain man down there and then told him to call the police. So he called the police, and one of my brother also called the police, called the one man from Ahinema Kokobing, and he called the police. So within 1 hour time, the police came in and then took the man to hospital. Are you being terrorized here by? We have been terrorized. I can count of 5 houses that have been terrorized, that have been robbed. Not a mere pilfering, but it's armed robbery with guns and then a whole lot of it is terrifying. We are being scared of staying here. During the night, more especially when it is lighthouse and the rest, we are being terrified.
This is exactly where the EcoBank manager was also gunned last year. To other stories, latest revelations from the Judgment Debt Commission's report have implicated former Trade Minister Hannah Tete in the loss of over 800,000 cedis in judgment debts paid out by the state. The amount is in connection with a 2.5 million cedis settlement paid to governments paid New World Investments Limited after the firm went to court demanding 4.3 million cedis from the Ghana National Petroleum Agency. The money, according to the report, followed the minister's intervention, but the commission says the company deserved a lesser amount than what was paid to it.
The Ghana National Procurement Agency, GNPA, in 2004 took a 1 million Ghana cedis loan from investment firm New World Investment Limited to import sugar. It's paid back 550,000, leaving 450,000 outstanding. In 2007, the company obtained a 1.127 million Ghana cedis judgment debt against the GNPA. The money was not paid until the company went back to court in 2010, asking the court to sell off the GNPA's headquarters building to defray the debt. The company claimed the debt had risen to 4.3 million Ghana cedis then. Trade Minister Hannah Tete, under whose ministry the agency falls, intervened. She secured an out-of-court settlement and government paid the company 2.5 million cedis. When GNPA officials appeared before the Judgment Debt Commission, they insisted New World Investment Company deserved only 1.6 million cedis. The commission agrees. Its report says the settlement amount of 2.5 million was arrived at without using any formula. It was imagined without any basis. This settlement made the state to incur an extra debt of 876,080 Ghana cedis, which would not have been paid if the ministry had allowed the case to take its normal course. It was the taxpayers' money that eventually became the victim of the misjudgment and wrong actions or inactions of some few public officials.
Let's now take a trip to the northern region, where some selected senior high schools in the region have begun the disbursement of monies to beneficiary students under a pilot scholarship program known as the National Secondary School Improvement Project. The scholarship package is a government policy in partnership with the World Bank to improve access and quality of education in deprived districts across the country. The move is also intended to aid the full implementation of the progressively free secondary education in the 2015-2016 academic year.
2,300 underprivileged day students in 125 senior high schools across the country are to benefit from the pilot scholarship program. Under the program, beneficiary students are to achieve 80% class attendance in each academic year and also improve on academic performance to continue to enjoy the package. The Gusheku Senior High School, which is one of the beneficiary schools for the pilot, has 20 day students signed onto the scholarship scheme. At a short ceremony in Gusheku, the beneficiary students had their school fees for this academic year refunded. Each student received an amount of 400 Ghana cedis and a monthly support of 100 Ghana cedis. One of the beneficiary students, Fatimata Abdullahi, tells Joy News the scholarship package will help reduce the burden on their parents.
We are very grateful for what the government have done for us. I mean, the scholarship that he have given us and all the things that he have provided us. We'll use that money so that it will help us to build out our education and everything.
District Chief Executive for Gusheku, Alhaji Al-Hassan Hussaini, appealed to parents of beneficiaries to make good use of the scholarship funds.
This is a support from the World Bank, and you know, the World Bank, they demand resource, and so we have cautioned the students as part of the conditions of the package. Attendance is key. At least they must make at least 80% of the attendance.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, a former ambassador to Organization of African Unity has taken a swipe at the current leadership of the African Union. He says the AU has failed. Details after this break. Welcome back on Joy News Prime. Let's get down to business. A former ambassador to the Organization of African Union has taken a swipe at the current leadership of the African Union for failing to live up to expectations for which it was formed. Ambassador Ebenezer Moses Deborah says the organization was created with the aim of making Africa dependent and not over-relying on foreign donors for survival. He also says Africa has what it takes to generate its own funds to support its development projects. He was speaking to Joy News after the Ministry of Foreign Affairs named a conference room at the ministry after him.
OAU is a bigger group, AU now, and but it's important that all of us must know that it is in our interest to have one Africa unit, one Africa working for our good, and if we will be strong like the US or USSR, if we work together and come out together. So we shouldn't be disappointed. We should work much harder, because it looks as if everything is slow and slow and slow. But no, but we should work hard to make sure we win the union, which Nkrumah was talking about.
From where you sit, would you say that successive governments have disappointed us?
Who?
Successive governments.
I wouldn't use the word disappointed, because I would say they should try harder, and all of us also try to work towards African things. You know, I always say that we should not import things like beef from other places where there's sufficient beef in Africa, and Africa can feed itself and therefore generate the money. It is necessary that we do that, because nobody can save Africa except the African himself.
Ambassador Ebenezer Moses Deborah, meanwhile, says all hope is not lost and Africans should not despair but rally round their leaders to help develop the continent. We're still talking Africa, but this time about politicians, because Ghana's longest-serving foreign minister is asking politicians in the country to be wary of what they say on campaign platforms, and it has the tendency of waning confidence in their citizens. According to Dr. Obed Iyawa Samoa, the current crop of politicians have a penchant for promises they cannot fulfill, especially when they mount the campaign platforms and see the audience waiting to hear what they have to say. He says politicians should only promise what they can deliver. He was speaking to Joy News after the Ministry of Foreign Affairs named a conference room at the ministry after him.
Well, you know, particularly during election times, there's a tendency for people to make a lot more promises than they can deliver. And sometimes it is they are prodded on by the electorate. Because everywhere you go, the electorate wants you to promise something for them. And, you know, the tendency would be, because you want the vote, for you to, you know, accept that you are going to do what they want to be done for them, you know. But I think we should all mature and appreciate that it's not every promise that is made at an election time that will be fulfilled. I don't think that one should promise more than you can deliver. But I know you get carried away when you are on a political platform, you know, and you make promises that you can't fulfill. But ordinarily, one should not make promises you cannot fulfill.
In other stories, 8 candidates are contesting the Talen constituency by-election now slated for next Tuesday, July 7. Though a 2-horse race between the governing National Democratic Congress and the opposition New Patriotic Party, there are indications the People's National Convention Party candidate could spring a surprise following his endorsement by the Convention People's Party. Upper East correspondent Albert Sori has been gauging the mood in the Talen constituency ahead of next week's elections.
The Talen constituency parliamentary seat was made vacant after the MPP Member of Parliament for the area, Robert Monsori, was enskined the paramount chief of the Tongo traditional area and subsequently resigned from his position as MP. The Electoral Commission, after going through the due process, then announced July 7 as the day for the by-election. In the lead-up to the election, the Talen constituency has been awash with campaign posters and paraphernalia of the various candidates in the race. They are in a top-to-bottom order as they will appear on the ballot paper. Joseph Tuatoba, Progressive People's Party; Dennis Atia Tambil, Independent People's Party; James Mambora Dobil, New Vision Party; and Benson Baba Tongo, National Democratic Congress. The rest are Michael Wombwago, Namanten, People's National Convention; Yaro Bamanzina Philip, Ghana Freedom Party; Isaac Kanganzore, United Progressive Party; and Thomas Dwanabwuni, New Patriotic Party. The 2 leading political parties in Ghana, the NDC and MPP, whose candidates will appear in the 4th and 8th positions respectively on the ballot paper, are in the lead with rigorous campaigning. 20 secretaries are upbeat about their chances, but there have been
We're doing a lot, and we know the seat really belongs to us. We are the people now, and we have started preparations not today. Ever since our MP became the chief, we knew definitely there would be a by-election. So we have made all things possible.
I think we have been on the field, campaigning furiously for parliamentary candidate to win.
But there have been accusations and counter-accusations of vote buying, mainly between the MPP and NDC.
Credible information that we have is that the NDC budget for this by-election is 20 million Ghana cedis. Even if this money, which we suspect is from your own taxes, from high petrol prices, etc., was to be shared to all the voters in the constituency. Every voter should get 500 Ghana cedis.
But the NDC has denied these claims.
It's not true. That is a simple answer to it. And why am I saying it is not true? From our campaigns all run, we have never, and I repeat, we have never given any fertilizer or anything of that sort, all what they have mentioned, to anybody.
Already, Vice President Kwesi Emisa Arthur and MPP flag bearer Nana Adodankwe Kufuado have been to the Talensi constituency campaigning for their candidates in mini rallies. Both parties are expected to stage mammoth rallies on Sunday ahead of the by-election. Albert Soares report from Talensi, Joy News.
We're still live on Joy News Prime, coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlimle, Accra. We'll be back with business. Hello there, time now for some business reports. My name is Abigail Adomako Enchi, and we'll start with the Bridal Fair. And it's discounts galore at the Accra International Conference Center as the Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair enters day 2. Scores of would-be couples as well as newlyweds are thronging this year's venue to either grab items for their weddings or secure fantastic deals for their after-marriage life. My colleague Kuku Aban has been there for Joy Business and takes us through a tour of the fair.
We are at the Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair here at the Accra International Conference Center, and there are a lot of sponsors really. We can talk about Chandel, we can talk about Vlisco, we can talk about SG Ghana, a range of them. Currently, as you can see, we are at Vlisco stand here at the conference center, and they have a range of products here, a range of fabrics, and I have with me the representative right here to speak with me and explain to me what they're doing and how they're faring right now. Good evening, welcome to Joy Business. How is business?
It's good. It's good. I mean, it's an eye-opener. People get to see what we have. Even if we don't have money on them, they know that we give them our cards and they know they can always come to the shop and then get their stuff. So it's good.
We are giving 10% discounts on every booking at the Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair.
On every booking?
Every booking in terms of wedding decor, events planning, and then on our school as well.
And so far, how has it been?
It's been very, very encouraging. So we're looking forward to tomorrow, and we know that tomorrow is going to be very good.
We just got to Prince Nana collection. That's where you get the trendiest suits in town. And Prince Nana is also a very major sponsor for this year's Beauty and Bridal Fair happening right here at the Accra International Conference Center. How has business been?
It's been fantastic. I mean, since morning, I mean, people are coming in, going out. I mean, people are amazed at the stuff that we have here. For instance, this shoe here, I mean, it's the latest in the season. They just released it. And all this stuff that you see out here, they just came out for this summer. So, I mean, we have the latest brand of stuff in this place.
You've got people buying?
Absolutely.
So what are you expecting as the days roll by?
As the days roll by, I believe a lot of people are going to come in, and we have a lot of stuff also coming in as well. So we have stuff for everybody.
Our company is DKT International. It's an NGO. So when people come, we speak to them about family planning, where we have different types of condoms as a short-term use for family planning. We also have Lydia contraceptives, and we have the Lydia post-pill, which is not a family planning method but an emergency contraceptive. And we've had a lot of people coming in to speak to us and then also purchase our products.
And Ruby's Bridal in particular is offering 50% discounts on all purchases here. So you can see, as you can see, they've displayed a lot of wedding gowns, shoes, bags, and so on. So the deal is that if you come here, you are getting 50% discounts on everything. Ruby is a major sponsor as well. Our next stop is SG Ghana. SG Ghana is also a major sponsor for this year's Joy FM Beauty and Bridal Fair. And what they're saying is that come over here, open an account. They will give you some very, very good packages. It depends on the kind of account you want to open, whether it's a savings account, whether it's a current account, and they will just give you some great deals. So SG Ghana, you can pay them a visit also here at the Accra International Conference Center. They've got something great for you.
Definitely, the Accra International Conference Center is a place to be this weekend, especially if you're about to get married away from the bridal fair to the city. The city has seen a marginal appreciation this week in what appears to be a positive response to new measures adopted by the Bank of Ghana. But currency analysts are worried the marginal gains may not be sustainable. Etonamse has more.
The Bank of Ghana from the 24th of June, somewhere last week, began injecting
$20 million daily into the system. A move, they say, would help stabilize the city. This year alone, the city has depreciated to over 25%. What has been the impact of this move on the city? We're here to find out. At most of the forex bureaus we visited, the city appeared to be staging a fight back. The ailing Ghanaian currency, which has lost almost 50% of its value over the last 18 months, analysts attribute resurgence of the cedi to the decision by the Bank of Ghana to inject $20 million onto the currency markets daily. Analyst Kofi Ampa lauds the intervention of the Bank of Ghana, but charges government to more sustainable measures.
This problem that we've been facing as a country is something that has been occurring year in, year out. I mean, since we did the redenomination of the currency, we've never seen the cedi, really gaining value from then. I mean, if you look at the cedi's rate of depreciation from then till now, it's about 99.9%. Okay, so it clearly brings us back to the basic structure of the economy. I mean, we seem to be, for the long term, there should be policies that will arrest the idea of importing everything into the country.
But the manager of Daula Forex Bureau describes the marginal appreciation of the cedi as superficial.
We expect that if the Bank of Ghana says that they are injecting $20 million every day, people will be rushing to change their foreign currencies in order not to lose. Because assuming you have $1,000 and the current rate is, let's say, 4.8, and you anticipate that it will fall, you will rush to go and change, but we don't see such a thing.
Financial analyst Sidney Kisley-Hayford believes the Bank of Ghana does not have enough money to continually be pumping $20 million daily onto the market.
The Bank of Ghana says it is going to put $20 million every day into the economy to shore up the cedi. I said that it's a lie, because the Bank of Ghana does not have $600 million to do this for a whole month. If they do it for 3 months, it will cost us $1.8 billion, and they don't have that kind of money. So it's not possible. $114 million is a drop in the ocean. And can we wait until September when that money comes in before it makes any difference? The answer is no.
Etonamsi, Joy News.
The new premium charges for third-party motor insurance is already slowing down business for insurers. The policy, which took effect on July 1, have had clients rushing to renew their policies before the deadline, but has since slowed drastically. Head of marketing for insurance firm KYC, Dede Kafuyo-Dumpton, tells Joy Business companies will have to intensify marketing of their products to have a boost in sales. The about 300% increase in third-party insurance premiums is an attempt to revamp the motor insurance portfolio of insurance companies in order to prevent it from collapsing amidst increases in claims. For KYC, Tuesday, June 30, was a very busy day as clients trooped in to renew policies before the July 1 date when the increment took effect. A day after its implementation, however, they say very few clients have come in.
1st July was the date we were starting with the increment. We had quite a lot of walking clients. I mean, walking and phone calls all over, and it was quite busy. I mean, very, one of the busiest days in this office was Tuesday, and where we had people queuing for their turn to renew their policies. Walking clients, for instance, the rate at which they would usually walk in, relatively slow today. Certainly, we are looking at the cost, but the cost of your vehicle in times of an accident, I believe, weighs far more than the cost in terms of the increment in premium. So it calls for sacrifice.
The increase in insurance fees, however, affects comprehensive policies as well as a result of the third-party component in any premium paid for comprehensive covers. QIC's head of marketing confirms there is a possibility of a mass movement from comprehensive to third-party as a result of the hike.
What we are doing mostly is to educate clients about their decisions. So I think they are taking their decisions from an informed position. We also need to do a lot more of legwork by way of our salespeople going out there to ensure that we get enough businesses so that we can make up for the shortfalls. A lot of marketing would have to be done, I must say, and we would also have to step up our customer service bits and ensure that, be it through phone or personal contacts, we sell a lot more to the public.
Annual premium for third-party insurance cover will now be around 252 Ghana cedis for private vehicles and 367 Ghana cedis for commercial vehicles under the new agreed fees. Abigail Adomakonchi for Joy News.
Sports and the Ghana League Clubs Association has resolved to ensure smooth organization of future tournaments after the scare of a near no-show at this year's President's Cup match. The club's parent body over the years has failed to put together annual tournaments such as the Top 4 competition and the SWAC Cup, amongst others. Even when they manage to put up a cameo, the challenges are manifold. However, a member of the GALC Executive Committee, Albert Kumi, says his outfit has turned on a new leaf.
We want to make sure that we give this product to those who are in the business, event management, so that they manage it very well. Yet, if we are not getting the results that we want, as a council members, we always come to make sure that we rescue it. We need to learn useful lessons. I see that we can go as far as the economy can contain. I think that looking at what is happening now, we need to also re-strategize. It's a collective responsibility. We need the media to go alongside with us to make sure that at least we always organize a very good events, not only the President Cup, but the top 4. Because when you interview any club, they'll tell you that at least I want to be in the top 4. So it has become a brand within our football circles, and we need to develop it.
Let's still talk about our football here in the country, and it's match day 21 this weekend at the various league centres as the First Capital Plus Premier League continues. And you know, some of the clubs will be pushing for the top spots, others will be fighting to lift themselves from the relegation. So now let's have a look at the fixtures rolling now on your screen. So there we have it. Everybody's talking about the top of the table clash between Ashanti Gold and Adriana Stars, but there's Inter-Allies up against Great Olympics that will take place at the Tema Park. Midjama SC will be up against Asante Kotoko, the Takwa TNA Park. Bechem United are in Bechem and they welcome Liberty Professionals, while All Stars will be up against BA United. Accra Hearts of Oak in Accra will play Hazakis. There's Ash Gold up against Adriana Stars. Leaders Ash Gold up against second place Adriana Stars. There's Wafa up against Hearts Alliance in Sogakope, and there's Brecum Chelsea up against New Edubiasi. Match day 21 fixtures of the Ghana Premier League, also known as the First Capital Plus Premier League.
Welcome back. Now to the rest of our stories. President John Dramani Mahama has agreed to grant remission and more amnesty to prisoners across the country. President Mahama has also vowed to immediately tackle the congestion in all the prisons head-on. Today, the President, together with the Chief Justice and other Ministers of State, toured the Nsawan medium security prisons to acquaint themselves with the inhumane conditions there. The facility, built to accommodate 800 inmates, presently holds 3,513 inmates. National leader of the inmates, Jamra Yapson, told the President the fortunate ones among them now sleep under beds. The Chief Justice, Georgina Tudora, would assure the inmates steps are being taken to deal with those who have concerns with the justice system.
We have always appreciated it whenever you granted amnesty and pardons to some category of offenders. However, majority of the inmates who do not benefit from these amnesties feel discriminated against. It is a humble submission that at least inmates who have served lengthy sentences and have shown visible and verifiable signs of reformation, the terminally sick, the aged, could be considered to benefit from this good gesture regardless of the offense. that apart from being an incentive for good conduct, it will also help bring down the current extreme overcrowding situation we are grappling with.
Very soon, we shall be commissioning a permanent court in this facility. And he will be the person in charge to review the cases of remand prisoners. He will be sitting both as a high court judge and a circuit court judge, and also a district court magistrate, so that depending on the nature of the case, he can put on the particular hat, do the right thing.
Meanwhile, President Mahama has empathized with the prisoners for the inhumane conditions under which they live. The president says he will see to it that life becomes comfortable for them. He has also instructed the prison's administration to immediately submit proposals on how a request for remission must be done.
I've asked the Director General to present to my office proposals for remission of sentence based on good behavior, based on medical and humanitarian grounds. Because when I visited the infirmary, I found some prisoners in the infirmary, some of whom have suffered stroke and who have such serious health issues that they don't deserve to continue to remain in prison. And so the Director General will do that and submit it to my office. And so for those of you who have served a certain part of your sentence and have proven to be reformed and to be of good behavior, we will consider a remission of sentence or an amnesty to allow you to regain your freedom.